See, most of the stuff that we guys do is for EMIs. So Sunday के 2-4 घंटे मिल जाते हैं where we can actually go ahead and do something for ourselves. Else every day we are actually living for our EMIs. But anyways, all jokes apart, guys. Like I said, thank you so much for coming in. I really do appreciate you guys being over here, and I know that must be very, very difficult for all of you. You just had your festivities and all that, and you decided to go and learn something new. So how about that? This is amazing. So most of you know a lot about me, and I do have a course to complete as well. So I'm not going to go and tell you anything about myself. Okay, there's plenty of information available about me, and many of you might be knowing about me as well. So I'm not going to go and give you my introduction, but I'm going to go and make you a promise. I'm going to go and make you a promise that today I'm going to go ahead and tell you about a technology that can actually go ahead and add in a lot of value to what we are trying to go and do. I promise you that I will actually go ahead and show you some of the solutions that will really go ahead and motivate you to go ahead and implement. Thank you so much, Saurav. Really appreciate it. And I have one request in return, okay? I want you to go ahead and promise me that you will not be scared. You will not be intimidated by the technology that we are going to go ahead and talk about. Right, everyone? This is just an introduction session. You will just go ahead and know about the technology. You will know about what you have to go ahead and do. You will go ahead and learn about what is out there in the market right now. You may decide that this is something that you would want to go and do. You may decide, Kunal, this is not something that I would want to go and do. I would want to go and do something else altogether, and that's fine. But no matter whether you want to go ahead and explore this whole cloud technology further, specifically analytics, machine learning, and all that, or you decide not to go and do it, you will not be intimidated. You will not be scared, right? Promise, everyone. Harjinder, Kanupriya, Pranav, Rucha, Silpi, don't get scared. Super. Thanks a lot, buddy. That's my biggest concern, because I remember on Friday when I took the session, I could see that a lot of people got a little scared. I do not want people to get scared. You might decide, Kunal, this is not something for me. I don't want to go and do it. That's a different thing altogether. That's your aspiration. You don't want to do it, but you will not get scared. Okay? Yes, Kanupriya, I promise you of that as well. So let me go ahead and start by showing you a slide that pretty much every student that I have taken, every batch that I have taken would have seen. But I know that there are some people over here who have never taken my course from me. So this might be a new slide for them. But for everyone who has taken my course, this is something that I have always shown. So these are the 4 levels of analytics. Okay. Number 1 is descriptive analytics. When you can go ahead and tell what is going on in your business, how many people are coming to your store, how many visits you got on your website, how much revenue you made, how many units you sold, how many orders you have had. This is descriptive analytics. Make sense, everyone? What is descriptive? When you can go ahead and tell what is going on in your business, that is descriptive analytics. Right, guys? Great. Next up is discovery analytics. When you can go ahead and tell me why something like this has happened, why exactly something like this has happened, that is descriptive analytics. Oh, sorry, that is discovery analytics. Kunal, we got 10% more revenue last week because we had 5% off campaign going on. Good insight. That is discovery analytics. Kunal, we got 10% less traffic on our website because our competition was running a 25% off campaign. That's a good insight. When you can go ahead and tell me why something like this is going on, that is discovery analytics. Make sense to everyone? Now see, on the basis of whatever data that we are having, when you can go ahead and tell me what is going to happen next. Kunal, for last 1 year, this is the data that we are able to go ahead and see. On the basis of this data, in next month, you will be getting 15% more revenue. You will be getting 15% more traffic. Or Kunal, next month, we'll be selling 50% more jackets. Kunal, next month, we'll be selling 30% more air purifiers. Kunal, we'll be selling 15% more masked. So that is predictive analytics. Make sense? Descriptive, when you can tell what is going on. Discovery, when you can go and tell me the reason why something like this is happening. Predictive, when you can go and tell me what is going to happen. Okay? Prescriptive, when you can go ahead and say, tell me, Kunal, next 1 month your revenue is going to go down by 15%. And then you tell me, Kunal, to go ahead and counter for that trend, let's go ahead and run a campaign, an awareness campaign about new products coming on our website today. That is prescriptive analytics. When you can go ahead and tell me what should I do, when you can go ahead and prescribe an action for me about what should I be doing to go ahead and counter for my trend, that is prescriptive analytics. Does it make sense to all? 4 levels of analytics: descriptive, discovery, predictive, prescriptive. By the way, it's not me, it's Gartner which said it. Now the question is, Kunal, why are you telling me all these things? We came over here for GCP, for cloud platforms. Why are you telling me 4 levels of analytics? So my dear friends, let me go ahead and make this graph a little scary. Let me go ahead and scare you a little, okay? Predictive is when you can tell me what is going to happen next on the basis of the trends. For example, there's a lot of pollution out there, right, Harjinder? So what you can tell me is, Kunal, next 1 week you will sell a lot of air purifiers. Correct, Harjinder? That is predictive analytics. Kunal, next 1 week you will go and sell 25% more air purifiers. What is prescriptive? Prescriptive is make sure that you have stock with you. Make sure you have ordered 50% more air purifiers from backend, from your suppliers. Does it make Harjinder? Does it make sense, Harjinder? Predictive is telling the trends. Prescriptive is when you can tell me an action that I should be doing to build on my trends. Correct, Kanupriya. Predictive is like forecasting. Prescriptive is when you are telling me what should I be doing to go ahead and make myself, my business better. To launch a new product, to make sure that my supplies are good, to ensure that I go ahead and launch a campaign on time and all these kind of things. Make sense to all? Great. And so like I said, that let me go ahead and make this very simple graph a little scary over here, okay? Now all of you do see 2 lines over here, one solid orange line, one dashed orange line. Can you all see this? Great. Now what is this? Everything on the left of this solid orange line has already been automated. All descriptive analytics is available to us with the help of all these tools. There is no human intervention needed now to do descriptive analytics. Make sense to all? Our tools and technologies are smart enough to go ahead and give us descriptive data. Guys, yes, no, maybe? Everything on the left of this dashed orange line will be automated in next 2 to 3 years. In next 2 to 3 years, all discovery analytics and part of predictive analytics would be automated. So as an analyst, what do you need to do? As an analyst, you need to go beyond this dashed orange line. Right, everyone? You need to go beyond this space, then only you will be able to go ahead and survive. Excel is just a tool, Kanupriya. What you do on that, it will define whether you are descriptive, discovery, predictive, or prescriptive analyst. Excel is just a tool. So at this point of time, all of us will have to go ahead and take a huge jump in the field of analytics. Right, everyone? Right, Selpi? Rucha? Make sense? So the question becomes, Kunal, how would we do that? It's difficult, right? It requires a lot of experience. It requires a lot of practice. It requires a lot of learning. And not to mention the kind of data that we are having in our hands. This would involve a lot of effort. So how would you go and do that? If this graph doesn't scare you, then I'm not able to go and explain it to you in the right manner. this graph should go ahead and scare you. But there are enough tools out there which can actually help you to go ahead and scale up this journey. And one of those platforms that we are going to go and learn about today is Google Cloud Platform, which can help us take this journey forward. Does it make sense to all? Any questions, any doubts right now? Saurav, Silpi, Rucha, Pranav, Kanupriya, all cool? Harjinder, Ina? So before I even tell you what Google Cloud Platform is, one question that I'm always asked, Kunal, how much would we have to go ahead and learn? What do I need to go ahead and learn to go ahead and become good at Google Cloud Platform and all these kind of analytics technologies, right? So I would want you to go ahead and focus on the last point over here. One question that everyone wants to know about. What all you will have to go ahead and learn to go ahead and scale up for future. So guys, keep this thing in mind. Yeah, Amazon platform, Amazon Web Services, Microsoft Azure, IBM. So there are a lot of solutions out there. So Saurabh, we will go and talk about this once we are actually going ahead and taking a deeper dive into GCP. But very honestly, you will have to go ahead and learn SQL. You might even have to go ahead and learn R or Python. You should go ahead and learn about a BI tool. I like Power BI, but you can learn ClickView or Tableau or Domo or Datorama or whatever you want. And you need to go ahead and learn advanced mathematics. I mean, I'll not lie to you. Yes, you will have to go ahead and make a bit of an effort. And yes, there is a learning curve involved. But I promise you that if you go ahead and learn all these things, you will be one of the most sought after analysts out there. Does it make sense to all? So yes, this is difficult. Yes, this is complicated. But I promise you the rewards are really, really high. Make sense to all? So at this point, you would be having a lot of questions. Kunal, how much of SQL do we need to go and learn? How good we have to become in R and Python? How much do we need to go and know about Power BI and all that? So during the course, I will go ahead and tell you how much you will have to go ahead and invest yourself in. But I promise you that it sounds more difficult than how difficult it actually is. So I promise you that it's not as difficult as it might sound like right now. So let's go ahead and wait for the end of the session before we actually go ahead and before you go ahead and realize that yeah, it's not really as difficult as well. It's pretty much doable. Okay, so let's go ahead and start by taking a deeper dive into GCP and understanding what it is. Now tell me, how many of you have seen this video? If you have not, you are really missing on something. So what I can do is I can actually go ahead and share the link of this video with all of you. This is like must watch video. Okay, you remember the memes? No, it's a brilliant video. You must see it. By the way, I will also go ahead and share the slides with you, so don't worry about it. You will get all these kind of things. So it's a fantastic, fantastic video. So this guy actually believes, and by the way, he was one of the most educated, most important person in India, which is like really, really sad. And he actually believed that when we say cloud, we actually mean clouds, like clouds up above. So he thought that when we go ahead and say upload data in cloud, the data actually gets into that cloud, that the cloud formation and all that. So his concern was, what if winds do come and my cloud actually goes to a neighboring country, of course Pakistan? What if my data gets to Pakistan through winds? What if there are rains and there's bad weather and I'm not able to go and download data from the cloud? What if the cloud is not available and all these kind of things? So really, really sad, but a very, very funny video. So you should go ahead and see it. So this says the kind of misconceptions that people are having about cloud technologies. But in reality, what cloud is like you have metro or you have public transport, DTC buses and all these kind of things. Suppose you have to go from Delhi to Bangalore on train. What you would do? You would go ahead and buy tickets for Delhi to Bangalore. Correct, everyone? You will not really buy the train, but you will buy the tickets for Delhi to Bangalore. And so in a way, what you are doing is you are actually going ahead and paying for whatever resources that you are using, right? At this point of time, you should be having a question. But Kunal, how is it any different from having my own computer, my own server and all that? To go ahead and answer this question, Kunal, why don't I actually buy my own server, my own resources? What's the point of having cloud technologies? All right. Now tell me something. What is the most expensive part of your computer? Your laptop, your phone, your normal desktop. What is the most expensive component of your system? CPU, absolutely. Your processor. Correct, everyone? Your processor is the most expensive part of your system. But have you got any idea how much of your processor you actually go ahead and use? Yes, 10%, 15%, 20%. So the idea is that if people are not even going ahead and using the server, what's the point, right? Why are you going ahead and paying 100% of your server when at max you are using 40-50% of your server? Right, everyone? So what's the point of that? If you are using only 10 to 20% of your server capabilities, then why are you paying for 100%? Right, everyone? What if you get some kind of a facility where you can actually go ahead and lease server? What will happen then? What if there is a service where you can actually lease some of the most powerful servers for the duration of time when you actually need it? Right, guys? What will happen in that case? Your cost will get reduced by a lot. Also, you now would be able to work on some of the most powerful systems. Correct, everyone? So not only you will be able to go ahead and decrease your cost, but you would be able to go ahead and enhance your performance as well. Does it make sense? At a very high level, right? For example, metro. Metro is the state of the art transport system out there in Delhi. There is absolutely no transport system which is better than metro. And all of us can now go ahead and use metro if we are actually going ahead and using that, right, Rucha? Silpi, does it make sense? Sort of? Srishti? The only difference between metro and your cloud would be that your cloud would be connected to you all the time, because for metro you actually have to go to the metro station to board the metro train, and from metro station you'll have to again go ahead and take a rickshaw, take an auto, take some kind of a transportation facility to go to your final destination. But over here it's like a direct connection that you will be having with the cloud technologies at all times. So you will be having a direct connect with it. So you do not really have to go ahead and go to any particular location to get the access. So that's the difference. So which means maybe for individual systems, yes, but for organization, it makes more sense. Even for individuals, I would say, Kanupriya, uh, do you have data in your Google Drive? Do you have data on your WhatsApp cloud and Apple cloud and all these kind of things? Why? Because what's the point? You are having like what, 64 GB of hard drive space in your phone, or maybe 128 GB of space in your phone. You do not want to go ahead and download all your pictures again and again on your computer as well, right? So what do? You actually go ahead and put it on cloud. It's all safe over there. You know that your system can crash, but your phone, but your photograph, and you may actually go ahead and lose your photograph from your system, but in cloud, it's all 100% safe. Right, Kanupriya? So even for individuals, it makes a lot of sense to actually go ahead and use cloud. But this is not it. All of us are actually going ahead and using cloud, because cloud actually goes ahead and provides us services in three different categories. That is software as a service, platform as a service, and infrastructure as a service. Let's go ahead and talk about software as a service. I'll tell you about it, Harjinder. Give me just a few minutes. How secure are they? That's very, very important question. And we'll come to that. Number one is software as a service. What is software as a service? Whenever you are using Microsoft Office 365, that's a software as a service. Remember back in the day, we used to have Office 2007 CDs to go ahead and install it on our system. Microsoft Word, Outlook, everything was installed on our system. Nowadays, we have nothing got installed in our systems, right? Google Docs. We just have to go ahead and have a browser, and that's about it. Everything is over there on Google Cloud. Similarly, Salesforce. We do not really go ahead and save anything on our systems anymore. Everything is saved on cloud. So that is software as a service. Make sense? Then you have platform as a service, where you can actually go ahead and use databases as a service. And you do not even have to go ahead and store your data. All your data would be stored on cloud. Majority of your data would be stored on cloud, and then you can actually go ahead and whenever you want, you can go ahead and fetch your data. Whenever you want, you can actually go ahead and again store your data back in the cloud. Make sense to all? So software as a service, platform as a service. What is infrastructure as a service? When you can actually go ahead and use the computation power of cloud systems, the virtual machines, the servers, the networks, the data storage systems, to go ahead and store all your data, use the computation, use the virtual machines over there. All you have is a very dumb system with capability to go and connect on internet, and everything else is actually provided by cloud technology. Does it make sense to all? Any question, any doubt over here? Three services: software as a service, platform as a service, and infrastructure as a service. PaaS is like platform as a service, where you can actually go ahead have your app engines in the in cloud platforms on which you can actually go ahead and install any kind of a software. For example, excuse me, you want to go ahead and test your application on different systems, on a Linux system, on a Windows system, on Android phones, on iOS phones, on Mac OS, and all that. What you can do is you can actually have an app engine in the cloud, and you can actually go ahead and install all these services over there, and you can actually go ahead and test it over there. So rather than you having 6 different systems with you where you can go ahead and test your application, you can do everything on the cloud. Does it make sense, Saurav? So all these different platforms would be available to you through cloud itself. All right. So let's move on. So what advantages? So Salesforce is a cloud by itself. It provides all the facilities, Harjinder. It gives you platform as a service, it gives you infrastructure as a service, and it gives you software as a service as well. So Salesforce provides you all these services within the cloud. But more often than not, we actually go and use Salesforce forms and all that, right? Which is again like a software as a service. People are more well versed with that, right? So now what is the advantage that organizations do get? So now on, whenever you are having an organization, think about all the services and all the infrastructural needs that you would be having. You would need a lot of devices. You need a whole IT team to take care of these devices. You need security protocol to safeguard your data. You need expensive firewalls. You need huge databases. Correct, everyone? So you need all these kind of things as a business. But if you actually go ahead and switch on to cloud, most of these things would be taken care of by cloud itself. You do not really have to go and maintain anything. You do not really have to go and buy your servers and then wait for data to go ahead and flow in. You can have cloud and you can go ahead and start sending your data right there without having to go ahead and invest a lot of money as a fixed capital expenditure. Does it make sense to all? So rather than buying all your servers, all your teams and all that, all you have to do is just have a team, have a device which can actually go and connect to Google Cloud, and that's it. You will be hooked onto their databases, their servers and everything, and you can actually go and function on that. Does it make sense to all? So like I said, that there are quite a few players right now who actually go ahead and provide cloud services. There is definitely Amazon Web Services, and a lot of you would be using it as well because you are asked to go ahead and create your website with AWS platform, right? So you would be having some kind of an exposure to AWS. Then there's Microsoft Azure, there's VMware, there's IBM Cloud, like I said. There's, of course, Google Cloud Platform that we are going ahead and talking about. So this is how the market actually looks like right now. Of course, IBM, Microsoft, and AWS being the biggest of the players. But right now, the fastest growth rate is of Google. Google is investing a lot of money and a lot of resources to go ahead and catch up. It's a new kid on the block, yes, but it is actually going and investing a lot to go ahead and command the market share. And moreover, remember, we are all digital marketers. So most of our marketing is actually done on Google, whether through DCM, whether through AdWords, whether through Google Analytics, whether through Google Display Network and all that. So therefore, Google Cloud actually makes perfect sense to us. Does it make sense to all? Guys, yes, no, maybe? Any question, any doubt? Super. So this is all theoretical slide. How did the journey go? So I'm not going to go for and spend too much of time into it. But you can imagine that that AWS started long time back in 2006, whereas Google came was late to the party, and recently it has started investing a lot of money and a lot of resources into that to go and catch up with the other bigger players. But yeah, AWS has a command over it, over the market right now. Yes, Saurav, it is. And we will go ahead and talk about it in a little while. Give me just a few minutes and I will actually go and show you the live demo, how user friendly it is, okay? And of course, Amazon Web Services provide a huge bouquet of services right now since they have been in the space for a longer period of time. They are able to go ahead and create a lot of products and offerings into this space. Uh, they are very much similar, Harjinder. I will not say they are completely same, but they are very similar. They both provide services in different areas. You can actually go and use both of them pretty easily. I like Google better because I found it a little more intuitive. I found it a little easier. And like I said, that since we are digital marketers and most of our data is actually coming from Google platforms, so it's easy to integrate. And I will show you how easy it is. How easy it is to go and upload data and all that. That's what I felt like sort of as well. That AWS is a little more complicated. Can we work on both? It will be easier to go and scale up on the other. If you learn one, it'll be easier to go and scale up on the other. Does it answer your question, Arjinder? I'll not say if you learn one, then you do not have to go and learn the other one, but it will be easier to learn, right? Similarly, Google also goes ahead and provides all its different tools and technologies and services and products in all these different areas, much like Amazon Web Services. So it's pretty decent out there. And now we will go ahead and take a deeper dive into it. And like I said, that GCP is very is catching up really fast. And one of the biggest reason is that it's very cost effective. It's probably the cheapest cloud services out there. Definitely cheaper than AWS and Azure, cheaper than IBM as well. So at the very same time, it's like Google's own infrastructure, which is now open for all of us. So you can imagine how scalable it would be. So how many of you remember the game Pokemon Go? You might not have played it, but do you guys remember the game? It was a huge rage at one point of time, right? So the backend infrastructure of the game was Google Cloud Platform. So it's highly scalable. It can be connected with all kinds of machine. It can be connected with Internet of Things as well, IoT devices, sensors, and everything. It provides a lot of APIs to go and connect with all kind of ecosystems. It has a very good support of big data analytics, where we'll be actually going and focusing on in the next few minutes what is big data and how we can actually go and utilize big data within GCP. Now, cloud AI is not something that we will focus on right now, but if I get good enough response from you guys, if you guys are interested, maybe in subsequent sessions, we will go ahead and start looking into it about auto ML, how we can actually go ahead and use the artificial intelligence that is provided by Google and infuse it with our data and build more on it. But we will go ahead and touch some part of it in this class as well. And it's completely serverless. So you don't have to go and worry about anything. Google will go ahead and take care of all these things by itself. So it provides services in many different areas. So in computation, to go ahead and store your data, to create networks, in big data, of course, developer tools, in security, Internet of Things, cloud AI, management tools, and data transfer. But what we'll be focusing upon is big data today. Okay, so that's what our focus area would be. Okay, within big data, again, there are quite a few tools. This slide is not the very latest one, so they have added few more tools, but there are quite a few tools out here. Even in big data, we'll be focusing on BigQuery. So that is the platform that we'll be focusing on. And once we are actually going in subsequent slides, we will be actually going ahead and taking a deep dive into what is BigQuery and how we actually go and use it for our big data requirements. So let's go ahead and I will just go ahead and give you a very brief idea about BigQuery right now before I go ahead and take you to a deeper dive session, a demo kind of a thing. So what is BigQuery? BigQuery is actually a platform, a service, a big data service provided by Google Cloud Platform, in which not only you can actually go and store data, but you can actually go and analyze that data as well, right? So you can actually go ahead and upload whatever kind of data that you would want. I mean, no matter what is the size of the data, whatever is the quantum of data, just upload it over there. It just should be structured data, and that's about it. And the best part is that it uses simple SQL to go ahead and transform data, do your analysis on that. And in fact, you can even go ahead and build machine learning algorithms on top of it. So this is what we will go ahead and do today. I will go ahead and show you a demo how you can actually go and upload your data through various ways, and then how you can actually go ahead and integrate it with different tools to go ahead and create some magic. And then how would you be able to go ahead and actually uh, use the machine learning capabilities of the tool. Any question, any doubt right now, guys? before I go ahead and tell you what exactly is big data? Any doubt right now? So at this point of time, I have talked a lot about big data and how BigQuery is a big data service. And this is again a huge jargon. A lot of people actually go and use these terms. So have you ever thought about it? What exactly is big data? And I'm just coming to that question, Kanupriya. Why are we talking about big data? Why is it so important, right? Why just big data? Why not something else? So before I go ahead and tell you about the answer to this question, uh, what do you guys think is big data? What is your view about big data? Guys, what is your view about big data? Hub of data sources. Okay. Anyone else? Silpi, Pranav, Kanupriya? A framework that can manage enormous amount of data in most effective ways. Super, Harjinder. So let's go ahead and understand what big data is. So first of all of us do understand that right now data is coming from so many different places. I mean, think about social media for a minute. A lot of data is coming from there in form of text, in form of messages, in form of photographs, audio clips, video clips, and all these kind of things, right? Whether that be YouTube, whether that be Tinder, Flickr, Pinterest, Tumblr, Facebook, Twitter, all these kind of places, right, everyone? And not only a lot of data is coming from these places, but also the speed of the data is very high. You keep on seeing the number of tweets that are getting generated every single hour. It's just crazy, right? And again, many of you must have gone through the web analytics course as well, right? You do understand about Google Analytics, Adobe Analytics, and these kind of tools, correct? So you guys do know that there's a lot of clickstream data that is coming as well, like on real time basis. Whatever people are doing on your website, all this data is also getting tracked and getting delivered to you. Correct, everyone? Then not to mention data that would be coming from self-driving cars, automated machines, and all that. There would be huge amount of data that will be coming from all these kind of sensors and all as well, right? Not to mention all this CRM data that would be housed with huge banks, retail companies, airline companies, hotels, and all that. They would be having their own huge loyalty point data, CRM data, customer behavioral data, and all these kind of things, right, everyone? From their stores, from their bank branches, and all these kind of places. Now, how many of you know that there are many devices like coffee machines which are having sensors which are actually going ahead and collecting data at each and every point of time? Do you know about it? There are coffee machines out there which can actually go ahead and which has sensors installed, which can go ahead and collect data about how many times you are actually going ahead and making coffee, what kind of coffee you like, how many days it takes to go ahead and go out of coffee at your place, how often you order, and all these kind of things. Saurav, it surprises you? I'm surprised. How many of you are having like Google Home and Alexa and Amazon Echo, these kind of devices at home? Or Fire Stick for that matter? Yeah, absolutely, Harjinder. Correct, Asim. So think about the data that is getting generated every single minute. Have you ever thought how much data is getting recorded every single minute? So this is like 2017 and 18. Let me go and show you 2019. Probably over there as well, Saurav. I'm not very sure of that though. So in 1 minute, that is 60 seconds, 694,000 hours of video is watched on Netflix every single minute. In every 60 seconds, 1 million logins happen on Facebook. 4.16 millions of messages are sent. 188 million emails are sent. 3.8 million searches are done. 4.5 million videos are viewed. Can you see it, everyone? In 1 minute, the kind of data that is getting generated every single day. Imagine this is 1 minute, that is 60 seconds, Kanupriya. This is what happens every single day in a 1 minute. Absolutely unbelievable. Really? How about that? 1.4 million swipes on Tinder. Think about this. I bet that out of these 1.4, 1.3 million would be of guys, but yeah, I can actually, and I do completely agree with you that Twitch views would be higher than this as well. Right now, I'm not even talking about TikTok. I mean, my whole family is on TikTok nowadays. They're just forwarding and viewing videos on TikTok. I'm like, what's going on? Sometimes I go and see all these things, and I think, yeah, Thanos was not really as wrong, right? I mean, I can understand where Thanos was coming from. People have a TikTok craze right now. So think about the kind of data that is getting generated every single day, right, everyone? And if this is not enough, in the next few months, guys, can you hear me? Hope you all can hear me, right? Great. In next few months, we are going to go ahead and see a huge spike in the amount of data that is getting generated. And that's where the problem gets even more complicated. So for us, there are 4 V's that are important to understand, that are key for knowing whether you are dealing with big data or not. So if you are dealing with data that is very high in volume, in terabytes, like social media data, transactional data, machine to machine data, sensor data, if you are dealing with data that is coming to you at real time basis or near real time basis with very, very high velocity, very high speed of collecting data, if the data that you are having is of different varieties, there's structured data, tabular data, photographs, images, um, audio data, video files, and it's very, very important for you to be accurate about your data. That is, veracity of data is very, very important to you. If these 4 V's are cornerstone of your analytics, then you are dealing with big data. Does it make sense to all? If you think that the data that you're dealing with is having the problem of these 4 V's, is getting influenced by these 4 V's, then you are dealing with big data. Guys, yes, no, maybe? If you are dealing with, it has to be all 4, Asim. For a big data problem, it has to be all 4, not just one. Make sense, Asim? Cannot be just one, it has to be all 4. Oh, they would be having all variety as well. Asim, remember nowadays people can go ahead and upload the photograph of their checks. They can go ahead and upload the photographs of their banking transaction, their forms and everything, and that would go ahead and help them open their accounts and all that. But it's gaining popularity, Asim. It is getting over there, right? Even banks are actually going ahead and dealing with big data right now. They are having a lot of data which is coming from social media platforms, because social media banking is also over there now. So they are dealing with big data problem every single day. So the question to us is, can we go ahead and find value? The fifth V out of these four V's. How can we help our clients understand the underlying trends, underlying patterns from this data? That is important for us. Make sense to all? From four V's, we'll have to go and find out this fifth V. If we can do that, that's what our job is. Make sense to everyone? Now the question is, Kunal, how would we do it? Right? So for that, let's go ahead and look into BigQuery. Okay, so this is the BigQuery platform. This is what it looks like. So let me go ahead and show you a demo. Right, so there are a lot of components over here. There is a query editor where I can go ahead and write in SQL queries, where I can go ahead and see my tables, my data sets and all that, the lower half. And left panel is my screen where I can actually go ahead and make my selections. Right, so first of all, the very first job is to go ahead and ingest data over here, to go ahead and upload data in this platform. So what I would do is, let's say I go to my Google Analytics account. I'll wait for it to open up. Give it just a second. All right, it's open up now. Let me go to audience overview section. Let me go ahead and change the date range real quick. Let's say I would want to go ahead and see data from January onwards. January 1, 2019 till date. Now I have this data over here. So the easiest thing that I can do is I can go ahead and download this data in CSV format. So let's do that. Let's open with MS Excel. Real easy. Now this is my data. So what I can do is I can remove first few rows over here. And let's go ahead and save it real quick as a CSV again. Master data, let's name it real quick. And let's go ahead and see the easiest way to go ahead and upload this data within Google BigQuery. Okay. Google BigQuery is the platform where we will go ahead and deal with all this data, where we will go ahead and analyze all this data. So first of all, we will have to go ahead and upload our data over here. So what I can do is I can go ahead and click on create table. I would want to go and upload a file. This would be a CSV file. So I'll just go and select that. I will go ahead and select the file now. Which file do I want to go ahead and upload? I want to go ahead and upload GA master data. And I can go ahead and name the table over here. Dummy table upload. I have two fields over here if you see. One is date, second is number of users. I'll go ahead and put that. Day and users, actually an integer. And then I can go ahead and click on create table. So once I go ahead and do that, a job would be created and my table would be created as well. And as you can see, my table is right over here. Can you all see this? If I go ahead and click on preview, I can actually go ahead and see all this table. My data is uploaded. Within a minute, all my data would be uploaded. Right, everyone? It was pretty easy, right? Just a few clicks and I can go ahead and upload my data over here. At this point of time, you can say, Kunal, this is a very manual job. I do not want to go ahead and do it every single day. I want some kind of a scripting. Maybe I can go ahead and write R or Python script. If I go ahead and run that, schedule it, it runs every single day and all the data gets uploaded within BigQuery automatically. I want some way like that. I'll say, okay, let's do that. So I have written some R scripts over here for my own account. So what I can do is I can go ahead and run this script real quick. We'll go ahead and get data. I have got somewhere around, let me go ahead and show it to you. Some around 83 observations. Can you all see this 83 observations? So I've got a table of 83 rows over here, like this. Okay. Now I would want to go and upload this within BigQuery. With scripts, not manually, but with scripts. I'll go ahead and upload it over here in GA data. So if I go ahead and see, there are around 1834 records right now. Can you all see this? No, it's not over here, sorry. Not over here, but over here, sorry. This is the table that we'll have to go and look into. So there are around 1245 records right now. Okay, so what I will do is I will go ahead and run this script which I have written to go ahead and upload data within BigQuery. And it is right now uploading the data. It's running the job. It is completed. It has given me an output that yes, it's done. Now I would want to go and confirm whether my 83 records have been added over here or not. So what I will do is I'll just go and quickly, in a way, refresh my table. Let's preview it once again. You see now it's 1328. Earlier it was 1245. Now it's 1838, 1328. So all my 83 records have been added over here. Can you all see this? So there are quite a few ways for me to go ahead and upload my data within BigQuery. Can you all see this? Pretty easy, right? Nothing much to do over here. Just a few scripts, run it, and that's it. And by the way, I will go ahead and share my scripts with you so that you will be having. I did write this code in RStudio on R, but I will go ahead and share all this code with all of you. Okay, so that you guys can actually go ahead and see how to go ahead and do it at your own end. It will go ahead and give you a good backbone to go ahead and develop. Good basis to go ahead and develop on. Make sense, Kanupriya? So don't worry about it. You will get all these codes and everything. So now my data is over here. You'll be saying, Kunal, this is okay, but I would want to go and see some insights out of that, right? I would want to go and see how my data actually looks like. What am I doing with this, correct? Right, everyone? You would want to go and see it in action. Your data is right over there, but how can you analyze it? How can you go and view it? So guys, let me go ahead and show you a different tool altogether called Power BI. It's a tool by Microsoft. Just to go ahead and show you how amazing BigQuery is, which can be integrated with pretty much any tool out there. Oh yeah, it's a super tool sort of. So I can click on Get Data on Power BI. It's a Microsoft tool, by the way. It's not a Google tool, it's a Microsoft tool. And I can go ahead and search for BigQuery. Double click on it, connect it with my own logins and all that. Once I do that, right now I've already got my login information over here. So once I do that, it will help me to go ahead and, sorry. Can you all see this Power BI interface? Great. So now what I can do is I can click on this get data over here. Sure, I'm just going to show you again. Then type in BigQuery in the search box, and this will go ahead and open up, show up. Just double click on it, sign in with your credentials. I've already signed in, so it hasn't asked me again. And then I can actually go ahead and look into all the tables that are over here with me. I can go ahead and expand on it. Once I do that, it will go ahead and show me what all tables I'm having. I can select the tables and I can load the data over here. So I'll just go and quickly import that data. Now see how fast it is going to do that, okay? So it's just going ahead and creating the data model. Now my Google BigQuery is available like 99.9999% of time, so you should not be having any kind of a problem. See, all this data is over here with you. Can you all see this? It's already loaded. So what you can do is you can actually go ahead and create different kinds of visualizations. And see how easy it is to go ahead and create charts over here. Let me go ahead and show it to you again. I just selected the kind of chart that I would want to go ahead and create. Let channel grouping, let's say, take goal value, put it in values. Moment I do that, I would be able to go ahead and know when it comes to channel, which has been the most successful channel for me. Can you all see this? Easy, right? Just in a couple of clicks, I was able to go ahead and create this kind of a chart. Okay. How about if I want to go ahead and see different user types and how much revenue do I get from different user types? Okay. User type and then goal value. There you go. I would be able to go ahead and see how much revenue I'm getting from new users, how much revenue am I getting from repeat users. Can you see that? Just by a few clicks, I can actually go ahead and create all these kind of charts. And what can I do with this? I can create these kind of reports. Let me go ahead and show this to you. Do you all see this on my screen? So at an overall level, it will go ahead and tell me that I've got around 55,000 visitors on my website. There were around 67,000 visits. There were around 253,000 page views. I got around $14.8 million dollars of revenue, 991 orders. Can you all see this? And now just see, I can go ahead and from this drop down box, I can select the month of January, let's say. Moment I do that, you see all the numbers have changed automatically. This is a report it's a dummy report that I have created for one of the hotels, just to go ahead and showcase it to you. All this is dummy data, but actually you can actually see it, how easy it is to go ahead and play around with this kind of a report and come up with your insights. Much similar to Google's Data Studio. Yes, Arjinder. But I'm using Power BI just to go ahead and show you that the big BQ integration is out there for pretty much every tool out there. So you can actually go ahead and say, if you want to go ahead and get information about the first quarter, you can select January, February, March. You do that and all your data would be changed. Can you see this? So you can actually go ahead and see that the maximum revenue is actually coming from North America, United States, around $4 million in the first quarter. Whereas from Canada, you got $116,000. Can you all see this? See how intuitive it is? Let me go ahead and show you another report over here. You see, the moment I go ahead and look into my data, I know that in first quarter of my year, maximum revenue actually came from Houston. Can you all see this? Guys, yes, no, maybe? Now see how intuitive it is to go ahead and look into this kind of a report and come up with your insights. At an overall level, Singapore actually goes ahead and contributes 25% of your revenue. Houston contributes around 14.6% of your revenue. Okay, how about deluxe rooms? I just click on this and my graph would change altogether. When it comes to deluxe room, 36% of the revenue is actually coming from Singapore. Houston is providing me 20% of revenue. Right? Okay, how about Mumbai, India? When I click on that, I can actually go ahead and see that when I go and talk about Mumbai, $342,000 of revenue is actually coming from for premium rooms. $332,000 of revenue is actually coming for deluxe rooms. Just by clicking, I can actually go and get my information. Think about how empowered your business stakeholders would be. Now, they will not have to go and depend upon various teams, various people. They can just go and have this kind of a tool with them, and then they can go ahead and get their own insights. Does it make sense to all? Now, as a digital marketer, what more can you go and do? For example, you are looking into the hotel situated in Houston. Moment you go and click on that, you will come to know where exactly your customers, your Houston hotel customers are actually coming from. And you will see that all of them are actually coming from North America, that too specifically United States. So next time if you have to go ahead and create a budget for your AdWords, you will know which geography to go ahead and focus upon. Right, everyone? What kind of rooms that people would like from here? So think about the kind of refining that you can do in your marketing strategies by inculcating a tool like Power BI and BigQuery in your marketing ecosystem, digital marketing ecosystem. Does it make sense to all? Srishti, Saurav, Silpi, does it make sense? Rucha, there is so much that you can actually go and do over here, which is very difficult to do in your Excel sheets, which is very difficult to go and do if your data is scattered all around. But over here, you can actually go and just do it by click and pointing, because all the heavy lifting is done by BigQuery within GCP. Oh yeah, AWS also supports big data. I'm just focusing on GCP. Doesn't mean that AWS cannot go and do all these things, Kanupriya. AWS can go and do this kind of a heavy lifting as well. Nothing against them. It's just me who likes GCP. Make sense, Kanupriya? How about others? This is descriptive plus discovery. Right, Harjinder? Why? Because you can actually go ahead and tell me, Kunal, maximum is coming from here. But why is it so? You can actually go and take a deeper dive into it and you can come to know with the answers. This is not just high level numbers. You can actually go and do a deep dive analysis into it. Right, everyone? And just by clicking and pointing, you don't have to go and do much. Does it make sense to all? Sounds fun? Sounds interesting? Absolutely. BigQuery is processing all this big data, which is then connected with Power BI, and I can actually go and use Power BI to go and show these insights. All that big data is going into BigQuery platform. BigQuery platform is actually handling all this data, doing all the heavy lifting, joining, merging all this data, and then I can actually go and see it in my Power BI as insights. Make sense, Saurav? Super. Now let me go ahead and show you one very interesting case, okay? So these are three of the biggest problems in hotel industry. And for some of you, I know for Asim, it might be a rerun of what we discussed today morning. Number one is Airbnb effect. But Asim, we are going to go and talk about a different case altogether, okay? So number one is Airbnb, because of course Airbnb is a huge competitor right now, which has come in the hotel industry, and of course their cost is not very high, so they can actually go ahead and rent out room for real cheap. So Airbnb is one of the biggest problems, biggest challenges for hotel industry. So is customer retention, because people do not like to go to the same hotel twice, right? They would want change of experience, change of uh, location. They would want change of setting so that they can go ahead and enjoy more. Yes, OYO in India has become a huge challenge as well. Correct, sir. And third is OTAs, that is online travel agents like Make My Trip, Yatra, Bookings.com, Trivago, Agoda, and all that. Now, what happens is that all these OTAs actually go ahead and provide 60 to 70% of the bookings to all these bigger hotels. Now, therefore, all these bigger hotel chains have to go ahead and give huge discounts to these OTAs. Because of that, from OTA customers, their margin is a lot lesser, right? They give 40 to 50% of discount to people who are coming with through OTA bookings. So the margins are really, really low for people who are coming through OTAs. Does it make sense? So what we'll be doing is we'll be actually going ahead and focusing on this one problem. That is the problem with the OTAs today. So the idea is how can we go ahead and increase our margin from people who are coming through OTA bookings, right? One of the ways is to go ahead and of course reduce the discounts, right? But we cannot do that because 60 to 70% of bookings are actually coming from OTA, so we cannot go ahead and reduce discount over there. Our bulk bookings are coming over there from there, right, everyone? To increase margins from OTAs can either decrease discount given to OTAs, which is very difficult to go ahead to do. Second is we have customers who are coming from OTAs, sell more services to them. Booking services like room services, F&B, that is food and beverage, your bars and all that, spa, gym, and all these kind of things. Right, everyone? We can sell more services to them, then we'll be able to go and generate more revenue from them, and hence we'll be able to go and improve our margins. Right, guys? Pranav, Kanupriya, Harjinder, Asim, make sense? Adim? Now the question is, how can we go ahead and increase sales to these services? One of the easiest way that every marketer can come up with is, Kunal, let's provide 10% discount to everyone who is coming from OTAs. That will increase sales, hence the revenue and margin. Right, everyone? Easiest way, provide discount to everyone. The very first thing that a marketer would go and say is, go ahead, give a discount. But we cannot go and give discount to everyone, right? Think about it. Let's say if 100 people are coming from OTA bookings, you can probably go and divide this group in three clusters. Cluster number one is people who are very likely to buy ancillary services from us. That is gym, spa, room services, and all these kind of services. Number two, second cluster is people who are very unlikely to buy ancillary services from us. Right, everyone? Group number three, or the cluster number three is people
who are somewhat likely to buy services from us. Now tell me which cluster should get the discount. Which cluster over here you think should get the discount? Cluster number 1, cluster number 2, or cluster number 3? Srushti, Kanupriya, Pranav. Third one, okay? First one, okay? Asim, Adim, Rucha. First one, super. Third one, that's a strong tie between first and third, huh? Alright, we should be going ahead and giving the discount to the third cluster. People who are somewhat likely to buy. People who are very likely to buy, why to go ahead and give a discount to them? Right, everyone? People who are very unlikely to buy, why to go ahead and give a discount to them? We should go ahead and give a discount to people who are somewhat likely to buy, to go ahead and give them some motivation that they can actually go ahead and spend more money with us. They can go ahead and order more with us. Right, everyone? So at this point, your question should be, well, how would we identify which customer should be clustered in which group? Correct, everyone? How can we do that? How would we go ahead and classify a customer in one group or the other? Right, everyone? So guys, this is where we will go ahead and use machine learning. Right? What is machine learning? When we enable our algorithms to predict a possibility based on historical data by using advanced mathematics, that is called as machine learning. Does it make sense to all? So we don't do it, our algorithms go ahead and take this decision. We go ahead and just use advanced mathematics to go ahead and enable our algorithms to go ahead and take predictive decisions. Does it make sense to all? Let's go and understand how are we going to do it. Let's go and take a deeper dive into it. Exactly how would we go ahead? So historically, we should be having all kind of data with us, right? So people who actually came from OTA bookings in our historical data in last 6 or 7 months, we'll be having that data with us, right? At the same time, we'll be having data about whether they bought something from us after coming to our hotel or not. So ML is performed on big data. Machine learning is performed on big data. Make sense, Kanupriya? Big data is a lot of data. Now you go and put machine learning on top of it, right? So we are having all this historical data with us. So how many people came from OTAs, from online travel agent bookings, and whether they ordered any ancillary services or not. This is an order flag, 0 or 1, yes or no. So what I can see is that this guy with customer ID 1, with 22-year-old guy, did not order with us. So this is why the order flag is 0. He stayed in premium room, age 22. There was only one person. He came for 1 day. In addition with him, the person who made the booking, there was one more occupant. They stayed for 1 day. This was their booking number. This is the revenue that we got from them. The trip type was personal. So there are 3 kinds of trip types: personal, business, and event. Event is like if they are coming some kind of a conference, some kind of wedding or something. And of course, their customer ID. So this is the kind of historical data that we are having. So if we think about it, the kind of variable that we are having are these: number of people who came into the room, their room type, why they came to our hotel, or a personal trip or a business trip or some kind of an event, what was their gender, for how many days they came in, what was their revenue, and what was their age. Make sense to all? Now the question is, can on the basis of this data, can we go ahead and classify people in these three different groups? That is, people who are very likely to buy, people who are not likely to buy, and people who are somewhat likely to buy. Correct, everyone? Now, let's go ahead and let me tell you a few basics about machine learning, the kind of algorithm that we'll be using. Whenever we have to predict on a variable, that is whether yes or no, 0 or 1, true or false, red or green, kind of a category variable. In that case, we use the algorithm of machine of logistic regression. Make sense? Guys, yes, no, maybe? If we want to go and predict on a variable that is either yes or no, true or false, 0 or 1, in that case, we will use logistic regression. Whereas, whenever we have to predict on a variable that is like salary, age, weight, number of orders, revenue, that is a continuous variable. In that case, we use the algorithm of linear regression. If we want to go ahead and predict on category variable, then we use logistic regression. When we want to go and predict on continuous variable, then linear regression. Make sense to all? Guys, yes, no, maybe? Now tell me, what are we trying to go and predict over here? From this data set, what are we trying to go and predict? Give me just a minute, Harjinder. I'll go and give you a recap. How about others? What are we trying to go and predict over here? We are trying to go and predict order flag, right? Whether they would order or not. Right, Rucha? Pranav? Yes, we are trying to go and predict whether people are going to order or not. Right? So this is 0 or 1. So hence a category variable, right? Hence what kind of a algorithm we need to go and use over here? Logistic regression. Right, guys? Correct. Harjinder, you said you did not, you were confused and you gave the right answer. How is that possible, huh? So the idea over here is that if we want to go and predict on a category variable, that is a variable which is either yes or no, whether 0 or 1, whether true or false, whether red or green, in that case we use the algorithm of logistic regression. Okay, Harjinder? If we want to go ahead and predict on a variable like salary, age, weight, number of orders, revenue, number of visits, number of page views, which is a continuous variable, in that case we use the algorithm of linear regression. So what it means is that if I'm trying to go ahead and predict this order flag, I'll be using logistic regression. But if I'm trying to go ahead and predict revenue over here, what kind of a model will I'll use? What kind of algorithm would I use? Absolutely. This is a continuous variable, hence linear regression. Correct, everyone. Make sense to all? Easy enough? Whether logistic or linear. Of course, there are different kinds of models as well, but we will focus on this right now. Now, see, logistic regression is very difficult. Why? Because in linear regression, we are just going ahead and trying to predict the line.
So if you go ahead and see this kind of an equation, linear regression equation, equation of a line, which is like y is equal to mx plus c. Remember this line? This equation, remember this equation? Everyone has done it. Equation of a straight line, right? Remember class 10th? It's very simple. But for logistic regression, we'll have to go ahead and apply a sigmoid function on top of it to go ahead and make an S-shaped graph. It's very difficult to go ahead and do. You need to go ahead and have a very good understanding of mathematics, of programming languages and all that, right? Very difficult to go ahead and do. Or you can actually go ahead and use BigQuery ML, which will actually go ahead and do it within 5 minutes. Okay. I would want all of you to go ahead and look into the time right now. Okay. Let's see how long would it take us to go ahead and create our model. Okay, everyone. The very first thing that we will do is we will upload our data. I told you how to go and upload our data, right? So I have already got my data uploaded over here. Whenever we are doing machine learning, first of all, we'll have to go and divide our data set in two parts, test and training. Our model is always created on training data and it is tested on test data, whether we are doing it right or wrong. Okay. So very first thing that I will do is I will actually go and divide my data set in two parts, test and train. So I already have got some queries written down over here, saved it so that I can actually go and save some time. I do not really have to go and type in and all that. So let me just go ahead and quickly run this to go ahead and create a training data set. If you see, it's a very simple SQL command, create table name as select star from here. That's it, with a random function. And if you see over here, my training data set is created. Number two, I have to go and create test data set. Very simple again, open query and run this query. Now my test data set is created as well. Now I will have to go ahead and create my model on training data set. So I will go ahead and create my model over here. So this is my query again, which is pretty much like my create table query, create model name, and then I'm using logistic regression over here. Do you all see it on my screen? Logistic underscore reg, which shows that I'm going ahead and creating a logistic regression model. And I will go ahead and click on run. So now, since this is very difficult thing to do, so this is why it will take around 2 minutes for us. Any question, any doubt right now, guys? Are you able to go ahead and understand everything? सब सही से समझ में आ रहा है ना? हरजिंदर, असीम, अदीम? At an introduction level, at the conceptual level. Saurabh, first of all, I will go ahead and share all this with you. In fact, what I have done is, I'll just show you something, okay? So this is a primer that I have written on BigQuery, so which I will go ahead and share with all of you. Right? So where you can actually go ahead and see the details of BigQuery, how it came into being, what is the mathematics behind the scene, how we can actually go ahead and run all these queries. If you go towards the later pages, you can actually go ahead and see the same queries over here. I've written all these queries over here, right? So you can actually go ahead and use it. Does it make sense? So this is a book, Harjinder, everything is written over here, and I will go ahead and send across to all of you. It is written by me. I've actually written it earlier. I will go ahead and share it with all of you, right? यार इतना टाइम, ओहो मॉडल बन गया, करेक्ट? तो मॉडल तो बन भी गया. See, I told you na, it will take me less than 5 minutes to go ahead and create the model. How long it took me? 4 minutes with explanation. Right, everyone? Now I would want to go ahead and check whether it is right or not. So I will go ahead and predict with this model. I'll go ahead and run, and I already do have results with me, so I can actually go ahead and show it to you. When on the basis of this model so I'll tell you the kind of results that it will show. So this result data set is already created. So what it would do is with customer ID, it will actually go ahead and tell you what is the probability of customer ID, let's say 777. This guy who is having the age of 29.7, for how many days he has booked up, how much revenue we are getting, what is the probability of this person ordering? It's just 0.1329. What is the probability of this person not ordering? It's 0.86. Similarly, this guy, customer ID 821, who's a female, 52 years of age, what is the probability of her ordering? Is 0.84. What is the probability of her not ordering? Is 0.157. Can you all see this? So with customer IDs, I will be able to go ahead and get the probabilities of a person ordering. Now tell me, how amazing is that? Guys, does it make sense? Not only my model will actually go ahead and give me an idea, but it will go ahead and give me such strong probabilities, numbers associated with it. And now when I went ahead and launched this kind of a campaign, let me show you the results, okay? So there were 33 people who actually ordered. Out of these 33 people, I was accurately able to go and identify 28. So my accuracy was 85%. Of 58 people who did not order, I was accurately able to go and identify 53 people of that. So my accuracy of predicting people who would not order was 91%. Can you all see this? Imagine if with 91% of accuracy, you can tell your clients that these are the customers who will order and these are the customers who will not order. How amazing would it be? What would your clients say? If with 90% of accuracy, you can tell your clients, this is the guy that you should be going ahead and targeting with your ads. This is not the guy you should be going ahead and spending your money on, because this person has more probability to buy, that person has lesser probability to go and buy. Absolutely correct, Harjinder. Because now I can go ahead and reduce my campaign cost. I can increase my margins just because I was able to go ahead and infuse the machine learning capabilities of Google Cloud Platform with my data. Now, does it give you a good introduction of how our marketing has evolved? How we are able to go ahead and use mathematics, the power of machine learning, the artificial intelligence, to go ahead and reach out to our customers, refine our marketing strategies, decrease our marketing budget, and still increase our conversion rate. Guys, yes, no, maybe? Now tell me, is it something that you would want to go and do in your business? Is it something that you would want to go and learn more? Is it something that really excites you? And you can be honest over here, Kunal. Does not make sense to me. Correct, Saurav. If you can actually go and predict with 90% of probability, with 90% of accuracy about anything, if we can go and predict with 90% of accuracy whether tomorrow it would rain or not, that would amount to a lot of money. Imagine if you can go ahead and predict with this kind of an accuracy about whether a person is going to go ahead and buy or not. So not only you can actually go ahead and store all of your huge data sets in Google Cloud Platform through BigQuery, but you can actually go ahead and help your clients visualize the reports so that they can actually go ahead and take some business decisions. And then you can actually go ahead and put machine learning on top of that so that they can actually go ahead and predict what is going to go ahead and happen in future. And then on the basis of that, you can go ahead and prescribe actions to them. Arjinder, I will need a lot of variables like how old are you? How many things have you learned in the past? How much open you are of learning new things and all these kind of things. Remember the first questionnaire that I sent across? Do you remember? The first GCP form that I sent across? Over there was a question. Are you open to learning new things? I even asked how many hours can you go ahead and spend every week to go and learn something new. Remember that? There were many who said that we will go ahead and spend more than 10 hours every week to go ahead and learn something new, right? But when I asked about a simple SQL queries, many of them said, I don't know. So if you are ready to learn, what would you do? You would actually go ahead and Google out. You would actually go ahead and find the count function and tell me I can go ahead and find the number of rows through count. Absolutely, Arjinder, I'm already doing it. That's a very good question, Saurabh. So in Google Cloud Platform, you can actually go ahead and register with a credit card. It will go ahead and deduct $1. And then it will go ahead and give you $300 worth of free credit, which you can use to go ahead and learn. And that credit would be valid for whole 1 year. You know, I have actually spent so much of time on BigQuery and all that to go and learn all these things, demystify all these things. I've spent only 5,000 rupees in last 1 year. See my account balance? I spent only 5,000 rupees in last 1 year. So this is how cheap it is. It's not free, but it takes only $1. That is 70 rupees to go and give you a credit of $300. And that is enough for you to go and learn. Does it make sense to all? Does it answer your question, Saurabh? Absolutely, it's a great deal. It's just $1 that they will deduct, Harjinder. In fact, there are quick labs and everything where you can actually go ahead and do a lot of things for free. So there's no free as such, but it's just $1 and they give you $300 worth of credit, which is not bad, right? Even that $1, I believe, gets credited back into your account. So it's practically free. Any other question, guys? Rest, I will go ahead and share my notes with all of you. I will go and share the books. I will go ahead and share the recording. Uh, please go through it once again because I trust you me that this is the future of marketing. You might not want to go and do it, but I would still go and request you to go through the session once again. Just try to go and understand. Maybe something would go and click. If you think that this is the right thing for you, let me know and we can go ahead and start looking into what more can we go and do. Should we go ahead and have some workshops where we are actually going ahead and doing all these things by ourselves, by our own hands, having some case studies and solving it together. All right. So please do go ahead and let me know how did you feel like, how was the session, and we can go ahead and take next steps on it. Okay. And I hope that you enjoyed today's session. There was a lot to go ahead and digest. We talked about a lot of things, but I hope that you liked it. It wasn't too overwhelming, and some of you will try to go ahead and get your hands dirty in this technology. Once again, thank you so much everyone for actually giving me some time on a Sunday evening, and best of luck to all of you. I really do hope that we keep on talking to each other, we keep on discussing about newer things time and time again. That's absolutely fantastic, Saurav. All right, everyone, have a very good night, and we will keep in touch, right? Goodbye, guys. Thank you so much, Shalab. Appreciate it. Thank you so much, Ruchak. Goodbye. Thanks, LP. Good night, Saurav. We'll see you. Bye, Kanupriya. Thank you so much. Yep, we'll see you on Tuesday. Harjinder, goodbye. Thanks, Adim. Goodbye.